Okay, so with the conjunction of Mars and Pluto in Aquarius, it's also now sextiling Neptune in Aries. These two major aspects going on, the Mars conjunction to Pluto and the sextile it has to Mars and Pluto with Neptune in Aries. So what I'm thinking is that just maybe we have already won the war. It's just that they have done such a great job at programming this imprint of building this expectation of a civil war that was going to be initiated by humanity itself. Because Aquarius represents humanity. It represents the collective. Neptune is the collective unconscious. And Pluto is the collective creation. And it's just rather interesting to me when you think about this, because what they want to fill our minds with these lies and these distortions, to imprint our unconscious mind and to program it, leading up to this point where Mars is conjuncting Pluto in Aquarius, this is deeply transforming the entire collective urge through actions, through passion, through desire and motives. And a sextile aspect is something that gives us great clarity and opportunity. So I'm thinking that we may have done enough work to overthrow this big master plan that was trying to imprint humanity at large. If the majority of humanity isn't taking the bait, then it's not going to work the way they wanted it to. So as long as we don't take the bait and don't react in a way that is going to cause a civil war, there's not going to be a civil war. See, Neptune can have this very fake war-themed, narrative around being an Aries. So it's kind of interesting that with having Mars, which rules Aries, and it rules as the god of war, and Aquarius being humanity, being the collective, undergoing down deep into the underworld of Pluto for deep authentication, purification. Maybe we've already, as humanity, maybe we've moved further along than they ever want us to know. And Aquarius, being Saturn ruled, Saturn only knows what's true and correct, and will only let you get away with things that are only true and correct before it allows you to go on your way. So by the time we reach February 20th, when Saturn and Neptune conjunct in Aries, this will be the real test. With Saturn, it will be the test of the true believers, and with Neptune, it will be the heart of the true believers, and they will conjoin. Now it's up to us from there to enter into this new world, this new shift, of this surge of the fifth dimension into our third dimensional reality to take place, and how exactly we want it to look. So I'm thinking that we've already won the war. However, moving from there, we may not be as far advanced as a human race that we may think. And that's why Saturn, when it goes into Aries, this is where the fall will show us where it comes from. Because Aries and Saturn, they're basically debilitated. It's not a great placement for Saturn. It is debilitated when a planet is in its fall. Okay? So it's like being stuck in a job where there's no experience in. It needs a lot of help. It needs a lot of work. It needs a lot of patience. So we're going to have to see, where we can go from there. It's like, we're at the pool table, but we've never played pool, never even heard of pool. And knowing that we don't even know how to hold a stick or the rules of the game, it's like we've moved along, but now we need to know the rules of what keeping the human race together and working cooperatively actually is. So I don't know. It just, I'm not going to fully hedge my bet on everything there, but it was just a very interesting thought to think about how maybe we've moved so far along that moving forward, it's just up to us entirely. Like I've said, the Matrix may be unplugged once Saturn and Neptune come together. So anyway, I'm going to let this go. Don't just take care, but give care too. And I will see you next time.